Good evening, my nocturnal companions. This is the Geriatric Goth, and I'm here once again to guide you through the candlelit corridors of classic horror. Tonight, we pay tribute to the cornerstone of British Gothic cinema. We're talking, of course, about Hammer's Dracula series, which combined deep blacks with deep reds, along with a few cobwebbed corridors, to redefine the vampire for a new generation. Oh yeah, I forgot the blood. Lots and lots of blood. There were many Dracula films from Hammer, but tonight I've decided to pick my 3 favorite films to get us started at a look at classic Hammer Dracula. We're talking, of course, about Horror of Dracula, known as just Dracula in Britain, Dracula, Prince of Darkness, and then finally, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. In my opinion, these are the best of the Hammer Dracula films. Definitely give you a good taste of Christopher Lee as Dracula. So, without any further ado, let's get something red in our goblets and get started with the 3 favorite Dracula films from Hammer Studios. We start where Hammer's Dracula legacy began. Horror of Dracula from 1958. Directed by Terence Fisher, this film didn't just resurrect the vampire legend, it electrified it. Gone was the musty, cobwebbed castle of the Universal era. Hammer's version pulsed with color, sensuality, and a new kind of menace. Christopher Lee's first appearance as the Count is still one of the most powerful entrances in horror. He's tall, elegant, and feral, blood on his fangs and fury in his eyes. Peter Cushing's Van Helsing provided the perfect counterpoint, a man of science and faith, facing a monster that was both myth and a nightmare. What makes Horror of Dracula unforgettable isn't just the technicolor blood or the physicality of Lee's Dracula, it's the pace. This movie moves. It is perhaps the first action horror film. It was a chance for the audience to experience classic horrors in a way that was new, but maybe influenced by what Western films were like or what crime films were like at the time. If you only see one of Hammer's Dracula films, this is the one to see. It is the template, it is the base of everything they did with the Dracula story. 8 years later, Hammer brought the Count back in Dracula, Prince of Darkness, again under Terence Fisher's direction. This time, Christopher Lee's Dracula doesn't speak a single word, and that silence makes him all the more terrifying. The story follows a group of travelers who make the fatal mistake of seeking shelter at Castle Dracula. Through a ritual of blood, the Count is resurrected, and the nightmare begins anew. There is something deeply ritualistic about this film. From the blood pouring into the coffin the sacrifice that reanimates Dracula, this film is different than what came before. While this film lacks the presence of Peter Cushing's Van Helsing, it definitely makes up for it with the haunting performances of Barbara Shelley and Andrew Keir as the priest who fights Dracula. The colors in this film are richer, the shadows are deeper, and somehow it is more animalistic. And colder. Lee's vampire here is a force of nature. He is violence personified. He is sudden death personified. He is a cold, silent predator. But the only sound that comes from him is hisses and growls. And then one imagines the sound of blood being lapped up from a torn throat. This is a film about fear, faith, and the power of superstition. To me, this is the ultimate Hammer Dracula movie. By 1968, Hammer had perfected its formula, and Dracula has risen from the grave, directed by Freddie Francis, feels like a fever dream. The film opens with a priest discovering a corpse in a church bell, a victim of the Count, whose castle looms over a village terrified even after his supposed death. An exorcism gone wrong resurrects Dracula once more, and soon he's hunting the young and the faithful and the unfaithful across misty rooftops and candlelit crypts. If Horror of Dracula was all fire and flesh, then Dracula Has Risen from the Grave is all dreams and incense. The colors are deep, rich, the photography is beautiful. Dracula is moving from the country where he was in the last couple films predominantly to a city where he's stalking his victims across the rooftops of the city. And at the same time, the heroes use those same rooftops to make love assassinations and to flee the vampire. Lee's Dracula here is both tragic and evil. The confrontation at the end of the film, where Dracula is impaled on a cross, shows him in incredible pain and suffering, the same way we might imagine his life is, or maybe his unlife is. This film is melodrama, myth, and gothic gory grandeur, all in one single film. So, there you have it. 3 essential Hammer vampires. From the action of Horror of Dracula to the silent, deadly predator of Dracula, Prince of Darkness, to the stalking demon that is Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. 3 essential faces of the vampire and of Dracula at Hammer. These films form the heart of Hammer's Dracula legacy. Violent, rich, moody, and endlessly gothic. If you've never wandered into Hammer's Crimson Cathedral before, these are the 3 films to use to start your journey. If you haven't yet, take a moment to like the video. Please subscribe to the channel, and you might take a look at our merchandise store to see if there are any t-shirts that speak to you and say maybe what you want the world to know about you. We can also take a donation through the Buy Me a Coffee app, and there's a link to all those things in the description below. Please comment on this video. Let me know, what is your favorite Hammer horror film? Do you prefer Hammer to what Universal did with their Dracula films? Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear it. Let's have a discussion in the comments section down below. That's all for us this time. Remember, stay scary, stay silent, and forever stay gothic.